Illinois, and Chicago specifically, looks a lot like this. Guys, of course, that's a scene from Caracas, Venezuela, where the economy and the monetary system is in complete freefall collapse with a hyperinflationary collapse of the bolivar. And how long will it be before we see similar scenes in Chicago, as Zero Hedge is reporting from horrific to catastrophic court ruling sends Illinois into financial abyss? We're going to cover that here in a second. But as readers of SGT Report know, one of our favorite people out there in Truthland is Mike Adams, the health ranger, who has very kindly stepped up to support SGT Report. He's a great guy, and he's been warning people for a very long time, most recently in his video titled Illinois Financial Collapse Draws Near. And he made this video on June 27th, just days before this devastating court ruling, which will absolutely gut what's left of Illinois. And here's what Mike Adams warned.
Be aware that your pension is probably going to collapse. And now, the state of Illinois, being that it's basically broke, we're going to see a collapse of pension funds for all the retired school teachers, police officers, firefighters, government workers, all across the state. They are trying to live on their pension funds. Those pensions are going to be slashed. Probably, my guess, is they're going to be slashed to 30 cents on the dollar. So if you're getting a check from the state of Illinois right now for, let's say, $1,000 a month, you need to count on that check being reduced to $300 a month. Can they do that? Of course they can. Bankruptcy is called bankruptcy protection. It means that they reorganize the cash outflow to creditors, which includes their pension IOUs.
Guys, I'll pause it there and we'll return to that in a minute. I just want to remind people that the situation in Illinois is so devastatingly bad that they can't even support Powerball and Mega Millions. Those lotteries have been suspended in the state of Illinois in what's being called an unprecedented step because of the mismanagement of even those lottery funds. They can't pay the winners. The winners are getting delayed payments when they're paid at all. And now, of course, Zero Hedge is reporting from horrific to catastrophic court ruling sends Illinois into the financial abyss. Here are the cliff notes, guys. Federal Judge Joan Lefkoe in Chicago ordered Illinois to come up with hundreds of millions of dollars it owes in Medicaid payments that state officials say the government does not have, which is true, they don't have it. Judge Lefkoe ordered the state to make $586 million in monthly payments from the current $160 million, as well as another $2 billion toward a $3 billion backlog of payments. While it is no secret that as part of its collapse into the financial abyss, Illinois has accumulated $15 billion in unpaid bills, the state's Medicaid recipients have had enough. The problem is, guys, this is going to tip the state over into complete and total bankruptcy. I think Puerto Rico probably is even a better example than Venezuela because the dollar will still have purchasing power in Illinois. The problem is Illinois can't pay its bills. So to Mike Adams' point, if you're a pensioner, if you've been counting on state payments for anything, you can kiss those payments and those pensions goodbye.
So the state bureaucrats, who are frankly mostly left-wing Democrats who just blow through money as if it falls out of the sky or something, they can cut your pensions, they can cut their promises, they can break their promises, and they will. It's now only a matter of time. So if you're a retiree in the state of Illinois, you need to be prepared for this to happen. It's just like I told you. You need to get into gold or silver or some other safer store of wealth, and a pension fund is not a store of wealth. I know people who got out of their pension funds early. They paid the penalty for early withdrawal, they paid the taxes on that, and then they still have money left over. They are going to be way better off than people who are still sitting there hoping that their pension is going to exist after all this bankruptcy fallout takes place.
Guys, it's important to note, too, that it's not just Illinois. As Mike notes in this report, the next state to fall will likely be New Jersey or California or both. And this situation is only going to become more dire. And really the question needs to be asked. As we look around at the homicide rate in the United States, it's often said that Chicago is now the murder capital of the United States, and that's actually not true per capita. When you take a look at populations, you'll see that St. Louis, Missouri is actually the murder capital of the United States, followed by Baltimore and then Detroit. New Orleans closely behind. And the point here is that if these cities are already falling apart, if these inner cities are already having these levels of homicides pre-collapse, imagine how bad things are going to get post-collapse. And returning to the Zero Hedge article, Friday's ruling by the U.S. District Court takes the state's finances from horrific to catastrophic. Comptroller Susana Mendoza, a Democrat, said in an emailed statement after the ruling. As a result of the court's decision, payments to the state's pension funds, state payroll, including legislator pay, general state aid to schools, and payments to local governments in some combination will have to be cut. So there you have it in black and white from the comptroller of the state of Illinois herself, Susan Mendoza, saying pensions will have to be cut. And Mendoza notes there won't be enough money for these mandated or court-ordered payments. Where does that lead the state? Probably directly to bankruptcy, as Mike Adams predicted just days ago. So there you have it, friends. For those who have been following SGT Report for any period of time, you've probably already made at least some preparations for a fiscal collapse of your state or the entire United States in general, and having some physical precious metals in your portfolio certainly makes sense. Just look at the folks in Illinois who now stand on the precipice of losing everything. Thanks for watching.